The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, hello, everyone. This is Brian Sachs. For those of you who know me, this is not my normal voice. I have a little bit of laryngitis, but I'm going to try to battle through this with you because I think what I'm going to share with you truly has the power to change your business, change your income, and change your life, as it has for me and many of the people that have already been involved with the Boomerang Expert program. And so I know that's a pretty tall promise, but stay tuned because I am going to prove it to you and I'll guarantee it. So let me just start. I'm sorry if my voice is annoying, but I thought about canceling this, but the topic is just too important. So I'm going to struggle through it. I just want to make sure all of you can see my screen and that all of you can hear me. So if you'd be kind enough to just type in the box that you can hear me and that you can see the screen, that would be great. Okay, so one of the things I would tell you is probably a good idea to turn off distractions for the next 60 minutes together. Life will go on. Everything will be fine, I promise you. So let's jump right into it. This is really how I believe our industry has become a head of lettuce. You and I, folks, excuse me, since I still originate every single day just like you, we are a head of lettuce. So this head of lettuce costs 32 cents. This head of lettuce costs 42 cents. They're exactly the same head of lettuce. Why would you spend 32 cents or 42 cents if you could buy it for 32 cents? We all look alike. We all sound alike. We're all saying the same things. Hey, we have great rates. Hey, we have great programs. Hey, we do a great job. I don't need to tell you that's not going to cut it in the coming year. I think this year is going to be a little bit more challenging for some, and for some of us, it'll be our best year ever. So let me share with you something that truly, truly pissed me off. This is, and you see it every year, this is from a couple of years ago. Let a lender, excuse me, let a lender pay your ad bill. These are the kind of things that are going on in real estate publications. Pay for a desk, pay for our ads, co-market with us. Am I right? Are you guys getting those sort of responses from realtors? Yeah, of course we are. And to me, that is blackmail and extortion. And you'll excuse my language if this is offensive, but it's just absolute bullshit. That's not the way our business should be conducted. We are professionals. And so I'm going to share with you a different way. But let's make sure you're in the right place. You know you need purchase business, just not sure how to start generating it. And we all know there are a ton of snake oil salespeople who either have never originated a loan or did so many, many years ago, who have no idea what we go through day in and day out and tell us things they think might work or should work or could work. And some of them are pretend loan officers. They appear to be. Go Google me, see if I really originate. It's Brian Sachs, S-A-C-K-S. I'm in Baltimore, Maryland. I'm not the Brian Sachs realtor. I'm certainly not the Brian Sachs runner, but I am the Brian Sachs mortgage. There's a bunch of Brian Sachses. So you're in the right place if you realize realtors are a great source of purchase business, but you're just tired of begging or being asked to pay fees or blown off with excuses. You're in the right place if you know you need to have a plan, and you know you need to have a plan you can bank on right now that works and will immediately produce new business, not just rate shoppers and tire kickers. So I want you all to go and get a handout. Go to boomerangexpert.com and get this /handout. Download that handout and take notes while we go. You know, as I travel around the country and train originators and speak, when I have a better voice, actually, you know, most loan officers feel that they'd rather have a root canal without anesthesia than work with realtors. And I'm going to show you how wrong that is. It stinks kissing butt. It stinks asking them for coffee. You know, I see all these people giving you scripts for meeting with a realtor and having coffee. You know what? The realtor doesn't want to have coffee with you any more than you want to have coffee with them. And that's just not the way a relationship is built, to be very honest. There are ways of positioning yourself. And then once you have shown them your authority, well, then you actually can go have coffee with them. They're more than agreeable to it. So go ahead and download boomerangexpert.com /handout. If you have Facebook on or any other distractions, either jump off because you're too busy or pay attention, because I promise you, you're going to learn something. And actually, I'll even put my money where my mouth is. Okay? So let me give you a case history. I had a buyer who responded to one of my mailings. We got her pre-approved. I referred her to an agent I didn't know, but I discovered was a high producer. And here's the misconception. You think that, I'm going to clear up two misconceptions. You think that when you do these tough loans that, you know, the agent's only going to think of you for tough loans. Well, the truth is, she since referred me 3 clients. All of those clients were easy, conventional. Actually, one of them was a jumbo deal. So that's a misconception. The other misconception is that only poor people file bankruptcy. The truth is completely backwards. Poor people just don't pay their bills. They don't care. They have nothing to protect. And so only rich people or people of means file bankruptcy. They have to pay to file it, and they have to have something to protect, or they wouldn't even file. So this may feel familiar to you. Tired of cold calling, visiting offices and getting sent out because they have their own in-house originator, begging clients or realtors to work with you, spending money on direct mail. So all that sound familiar? It's pretty much what I went through. So I have to believe all of you at some time or another have gone through this as well. So sometimes if you ask yourself the right questions, you get some very cool answers. What if you finally had income that was predictable? Not up and down and all around and sideways, but actually predictable. And one you could count on each and every month. One where you didn't have to go chasing people and kissing butt, but you actually had them chasing you. Would that be cool? I'm not even going to ask. I think we all would. But here's the difference between two originators. The person on the left is the one I used to be, hoping that business will get better, hoping rates will stay down, hoping agents will be loyal, hoping. And the difference is finally having a plan. It took me years and tens of thousands of dollars to test, tweak, perfect, and create it, but it's now predictable. So I, as I said, originate just like you, and I want to make sure that your time here is worthwhile. And so here's what I'm going to do. And by the way, this is almost unheard of. I don't know if you've ever seen anybody do this. You came to a free training, right? But I'm going to promise you in advance that it's worthwhile. So here's my promise. Stay on this webinar, and if you don't get one big idea, just one, you can immediately use, send me an email, send it to Brian@loanofficertips.com. Brian@loanofficertips.com. and I will personally send a check for $25 in your name to the charity of your choice. Because you know what? You can never get your time back that we're spending together. So let me know in the chat box if that's a deal, and we'll move on. So deal or no deal, folks. This is our turn to play deal or no deal. So type in deal or no deal. All right, Dan's a deal, Greg's a deal, Mark's a deal. Deanna, what about the rest of you? Hey, again, if you guys are busy, jump off. It's okay. Not going to hurt my feelings. Deal, Brian from Robert. Andrew, deal. Athena, deal. Liz Marie, Ken, deal. Mark, deal. Okay, good. All right. So let's get started. I surveyed the group, and here's what I found. What is holding you back from closing more loans? Marketing, lead generation, funds. This person's pretty honest. Complacency. Lack of automation and assistance or time and money. Creating new relationships, qualified buyers, generating leads. It's all pretty much the same, right? Money and time. So here's what I'm going to share with you. A 3-step formula that you're going to use to instantly grow your production by 30%. I can't make income claims here, but I'd be really, really surprised if it doesn't. So let's go. We got the little known way to finally have agents chasing you so you never have to beg or pay for business. How to position yourself to stop rate shoppers dead in their tracks so that you are never again asked the rate question. I'm going to give you a bunch of scenarios here and things to say shortly. I don't like to call them scripts because we're not robots. Why what you're being taught isn't working. So how do I know what you're being taught isn't working? Anybody want to type in the chat box? It's not your fault, folks, but I'm going to show you what does work, and I'm going to show you what works now, right now, in this market. So, what you're being taught is how to go chase business. I'm the only one I know of in our industry that's teaching you how to get business chasing you. Do you see that big switch? Big difference. And we're going to do some exercises here in a little while. How to profit from one of the largest groups to enter the marketplace, 7.3 million buyers, and almost no other originators are going after them. Shocks me, really does. And I'm going to show you the key to breaking into closed offices, even with loan officers in place. By the way, do you know that the in-house loan officer, this is a national statistic, the in-house loan officer in an office, right, they do somewhere around 23 to 28% of the business in that office. Let's just round it up and say they're phenomenal and make it 30, okay? That still leaves you with 70% of the business. I'm also going to share with you at the end one source of new business I'm almost 100% sure none of you have thought of before, and it's almost too easy. So, who should you even listen to, right? That's a fair question. I'm going to give you some criteria, and I encourage each and every one of you to judge me by this criteria. Has the person accomplished what I want to accomplish? Are they earning what I want to earn? Why would you listen to someone making 50 if you want to make 100? Do they do it or do they teach it? Big, big difference. Do they guarantee it? Heck, I just guaranteed a free training. Who in the world ever does that? And the ultimate shortcut here, find a mentor. Look, I'm going to tell you something. I barely graduated high school, and I'm not the sharpest pencil, okay? I figured all this out the hard way. I wish I would have had a me to shortcut it so I could have just copied and pasted it, but no one did. So let me just share with you, because it is really important who you listen to. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I grew up I thought we were middle class, but turns out we were just trying to stay middle class. My parents had a shoe store, and during the Carter years, it just was ugly. I went to work at 14. I barely graduated high school, no college, some college courses, but not much. Became a realtor first at the age of 20, got into the mortgage business at 21. And, I learned something called direct response information marketing from a gentleman named Dan Kennedy, who I consider my mentor and who I was lucky enough to work with closely on certain projects. And it rocked my world. It totally changed my life. And I brought that back to the mortgage business and applied what I learned to our business, and everything changed. And I'll share some of that with you. Here's my wife. She used to call herself a mortgage widow, and she used to refer to me as a mortgage 7-Eleven. My daughter, Melissa, my son, Matt. My daughter, Melissa, it's interesting. I used to leave early in the morning every day to get work done, and I would come home late at night. And I also used to work weekends. And used to, big key word, used to. I still work a couple hours on a weekend, I'm not going to lie. But I don't work 15, 20-hour days like I used to. So, I would leave early. She was sleeping. I'd come home late. She was already in bed. And one day I heard her say to my wife, I came home early one night while she was awake, and she said to my wife, Mommy, who's that man? And you want to talk about a kick to the stomach. Really, it was a kick to the stomach. My neighbor had to teach my son and my daughter how to ride a bike. Any of you relate to any of this? So, how did I learn these things? Well, I spent the first 15 years in the mortgage business doing the same thing, giving out donuts and rate sheets and begging. And I realized it couldn't be about price. And when I discovered direct response marketing, everything changed. I went on to build and sell 4 businesses that I grew quickly into 7-figure businesses, all in 3 years. Were any of you a member of Loan Officer Success? Yes, no? Anybody here? So anybody? Okay, so Dan Schwellenbach, Mark Silverberg, no. Okay, some of you know, some of you yes, but this was a huge training company that I built. And, I'm not telling you any of these things to brag, because here's what happened. That was my life part 1. My life part 2, I thought I was going to just take these millions of dollars and go off into the sunset. The information business I sold went bankrupt. 2 of my partnerships wound up in court. And I woke up one day and was like, what the hell just happened? Okay. And I had to reinvent myself quickly and efficiently with no money and no tech knowledge. I had to come back as an originator, and, man, things have changed. I actually call myself a seasoned rookie, because all the agents, I left from 2009 and I came back at the end of 2013. Well, many of the agents I was working with had retired. Others had left the business, and and the ones that were still left had made new relationships, right? So I literally had to start over. What do you do if you have no money and no time to waste? Anybody relate to this? So a lot of you relate to this, okay? I'm on my reinvention mode, and I didn't dare share anything with anyone until I 100% tested and know that it works. I think that's only fair. So now I know it works. It's 5 years working, and I'm sharing. So again, how do you overcome this head of lettuce syndrome? So let me explain to you how we are our own worst enemy. We all hate rate shoppers. Can you give me a yes or no? It's obviously a yes. So we all hate them, right? We hate it. So let's pretend we're at a party and we meet each other, and I come up to you and I say to you, hey, nice to meet you. What do you do for a living? Tell me what you write, what you say. Type in what you say. Again, we meet and I say, what do you do for a living? So Greg, Ken, Mark, Linda. Okay. Athena, I'm a mortgage loan officer. Greg, what do you? Kevin solves people's mortgage problems. I help people with mortgages. I help people become homeowners. I'm a mortgage consultant. What else? Who else? Come on, there's a lot of you here. I do home loans. Okay. So any of these responses, folks, I'm a loan officer. I help people solve mortgage problems. I help people with mortgages. I'm a mortgage banker. I do home loans. I help buyers get into a loan. What do you think the next question is? Come on, I know you're a smart bunch. You've just told me all of these things you do. Exactly. Good for you, Linda. What's your rate? And isn't that exactly what we don't want to be asked, right? We don't want to be judged by our rate. But the way we position ourselves and even what we say we do. So here's what I tell people. I tell people, you meet me at the party, and here's what I say. I help buyers who've had a bankruptcy or other credit challenge get into a home with low down payments and attractive rates. Now, what does that mean, right? I help buyers who have a bankruptcy or other credit challenge get into a new home with low down payments. Notice I didn't say no. And attractive rates. Notice I didn't say lowest rate. So what this does is it actually stimulates a conversation. They're not going to ask me, what's your rate, right? How do you do that? Tell me about that. So here's why it's counterintuitive. You think if I say this to someone, they're going to just, if they have perfect credit and they want to refinance, they're just not going to ask and they're not going to talk, right? Isn't that what you think? Couldn't be further from the truth. The reality is over 70% of my business, 73%, I track it carefully, comes from buyers that have great credit. And the other 27% comes from people who have a challenge. But when I say this, it starts a conversation and it removes you from the head of lettuce syndrome. Let me go a little further. Does that make sense, everybody? Yes, no? Okay. So look at doctors. Every industry gets this except ours for some reason. Look at doctors, okay? You have a general internist. That person's working their tail off. And then you have a cardiac specialist. So the general internist, is available 24/7. They're making a lot less money than the cardiac specialist, and they're working harder. Both doctors, right? So let's look at another industry, accountants. You have the general accountant who isn't sleeping for the next 3 or 4 months, and he's working on volume. And then you have the IRS audit specialist. You see why he's smiling? Because he charges $500 an hour to help people that have a problem. Make sense? How about lawyers? Okay. You've got a general practitioner working very hard, worrying where their next client's coming from. And then you've got a commercial real estate tax law expert who isn't worried because he's helping someone that has a problem. That person will take off work to meet with him, won't they? And as long as he positions himself as the expert, they'll pay his fee because they want their problem to go away. Is this making sense to all of you? So I'm going to give you another tip, okay? No one believes anything you say about yourself, but they will believe what others like them say. So don't take my word for it. Here's one of my Joe Gross from New Jersey slashed his marketing expenses by 90% and has a great personal life. He used to work the way I did, 15-hour days, 5-6 days a week. And now he's got time to spend with his family. Here's another one, Mark in Long Island. Brian completely changed my life by $40,000 a month. Here's Jay Davis. This information is brought to you by somebody who walks the walk and talks the talk. Scott Brown in Colorado went from $4,000 to $5,000 a month to $20,000 to $50,000. Again, I'm not going to make any income claims. I just want you to hear from others that have been successful. So let's jump into it. What do you say? Let's break this down, these 3 magical sentences that are going to explode your production. Ready? Writing down? Got a pen, paper? Step 1, and I'll dissect this for you in a minute. Pick a niche, become the expert, let everyone know about it. One more time. Pick a niche, become the expert, let everyone know about your expertise. So, this is probably the biggest takeaway you should get from this entire training. It's the difference between success and failure. In your relationship, in your marriages, in your business dealings, one person is chasing and one person is being chased, and the person that is doing the chasing is at a disadvantage. Please type in the box if you agree or disagree. I think you probably find it hard to disagree with, okay? So everyone is teaching you how to go chase business. Is that fair? They're giving you scripts so you can sound like a robotic idiot. I'm sorry if that sounds harsh, but that's how I feel. The key here is, how do you separate yourself and how do you become the person being chased? So again, I told you earlier, it's not your fault. So let's see what's being taught to you or the methods that are out there. Get ready, folks, because I need your help. Paying MSA or co-marketing fees, is that pulling or attracting? That's pulling. Great. You're right. How about this? Providing food for brokers' opens or providing donuts for the office. Is that pulling? Okay. Right. Beautiful. But this is what's going on, right? Speaking at a board of realtors or office meeting. Is that pulling or attracting? Aha, right? That's attracting because you're now there as an expert. Beautiful. That's a beautiful thing to do, by the way. It's not pulling. You're not chasing. You're speaking. So how about this? Giving your realtor a pre-approved buyer. Is that pulling or attracting? Man, that's sort of the epitome of attracting, isn't it? It's like heroin. You know, you give realtors, say, you know, and I'll show you in a little while a script. I hate to say script, but I'll give you sort of a template. Put it in your own words that I use that make realtors loyal to you. Being heard on radio or seen on TV or your article read, is that pulling or attracting? It's attracting, right? How about buying cold Facebook or internet leads or advertising on Zillow? That's being pushed to you, right? What is that? That's the ugliest kind of pulling there is. You're going to be one of 5 or 7 people to pay for the same damn lead. That's ridiculous. How about sending direct mail to cold prospects you don't know? It usually is pulling. I'll show you some direct mail mistakes in a couple minutes. So look, here's the thing. And thank you, by the way, for participating. The definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over again and hoping something's going to change. And I hope by now you realize I'm no Einstein, right? The truth is, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So let's break down our formula. We're going to start with part 1, which is pick a niche. There are lots and lots of niches: reverse mortgages, construction firms, foreign nationals, bank statement programs. Honestly, I think they're getting a little competitive. But How about this niche? 7.3 million buyers who are now eligible to buy a home. 1 out of every 3 borrowers you meet has a credit challenge, and bankruptcies over the past 7 years were at all-time high. Who do you know that's actually marketing to these folks? No one. So don't take my word for it. Here's the publications, okay? Non-prime creeping back into the market. Non-prime lenders up staff. Why now is a good time to add non-prime. 2017 could be a good year for non-prime. It was. Non-prime originations double in 17. It did. Here is a stat, okay? 956,000 people had a foreclosure last year. 50% of U.S. households have a credit score under 680. 33% have a score of 620. So 18 million plus foreclosures since 2008. But I'm not done yet. Millions of boomerang buyers about to ignite the market. Look at this. Historical return rates show recent incremental volumes of 150,000 boomerang buyers returning per year, or 12.5 per month. Think you could get a little piece of that action? But look at this. This is from Realty Track, okay? So here was 17. Look at last year, 18. I mean, it's ridiculous. But look at 19, 20, 21. We've got 3, 4 more awesome years. These buyers will always be there, but we're just talking about peak years, right? So where are they? Everywhere. Big cities, little towns, urban, rural. They're literally everywhere in all 50 states. Boomerang buyers coming back and require special expertise from RIS Media. This is a real estate publication, by the way. All of these, really, I hope, show you why this is a good niche. You agree, disagree, any comment? So we've taken care of part 1. Let's take care of part 2, okay? Part 2 is, how do you become the expert? Well, it's really very simple. Know your guidelines, know the products out there. There are companies like Caliber, Angel Oak, Carrington. There are a bunch of them. Go meet with their reps and understand their products. Know how to get your scores corrected. That is so critical, folks. That will set you apart from everybody. Know what will have the most impact the fastest. Know the guidelines as well as an underwriter, and know those programs and lenders that'll help them. You have to know ways to instantly get your credit reports fixed, okay? But when you think about what we do, we really kind of do things ass backwards, right? What we do is we decide to market, we go out and we market, we get leads, and then we try to figure out where to put them. It doesn't matter whether you're working for a banker, broker, or candlestick maker, right? That's what we do. And then we get frustrated and stop marketing. Is that what you do? Be honest. Give me a yes or no. And so your production looks like this, right? You got ups and downs and all arounds. Well, I mean, honestly, it's ass backwards. See, here's the thing, okay? In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. To be an expert, I don't have to know and never can know everything there is to know. I just have to know more than you, right? If you're my competitor, I have to know more than you. If we're here with a bear and the bear's chasing both of us, I don't have to run faster than the bear. I just have to run faster than you. So, the benefits of being the expert are buyers will meet with you during your hours. They will take off work to meet with you. They are not rate sensitive. They just want to know that you're for real, and they just want to, many times, not even financial, just psychologically and emotionally want to be homeowners again. They know they have an issue, and they'll do what you say, almost like a doctor giving a prescription, and they will respect you. But here's what's more important. When you get one of these deals done, They will literally refer you to everybody, everybody. Um, and the reality is their friends, family, they don't all have bankruptcies, right? You do a loan for someone with a 750 credit score, you got them a good rate, you closed on time, you did what you said what you were going to do, man, you're going to have to work your tail off to get them to refer you. These people, they will refer you to everyone, and no one's marketing to them. I'll tell you the other thing about this that's really beautiful. You really feel like you helped somebody. You really can feel that emotion. And it's funny because 2 days ago on Tuesday, I did a loan for a lady who had a bankruptcy and a short sale. She didn't include the short sale in the bankruptcy for some reason, but she wasn't eligible for anything and she wanted to buy a house right away. And I'll tell you this story actually because it really sort of dismisses a lot of the biases people have. So she's a nurse. She went through a bad divorce. Anyway, no lenders wanted to talk to her. And I said to her, Angie, you're a nurse. You've worked at University of Maryland Hospital for 30 years. What happened? So she told, her husband had a problem. He got into drugs and gambling and all sorts of bad things and became violent. In any case, we were able to put her in a non-QM program with Angel Oak. And you know what? It's a number of years later now. She's now within the time frames. She's referred, I can't even tell you how many people to me. The agent still gives me business that I referred her to this day, mostly really jumbo easy loans. And I can now refinance her. So how about getting a loan where down the road you have an automatic refi? I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful situation. So we've talked about picking a niche. We've talked about becoming the expert. And now I'm going to tell you about letting everyone know about it. And again, you don't have to know everything there is. But you can teach courses about it. You can write about it. You can have your own book about it. You can now open doors, which I will share with you in a minute. The best business card you could ever have is a book, right? You want to know where the best place to meet realtors are? The best place to meet realtors is at your board of realtors or somewhere where you're teaching a course. Here's the course. I teach this regularly, and I always walk out with business and agents. Here's the key. Agents wanting to have coffee with me and managers asking me to teach it at their office. Here it is, right from the board of realtors. So again, folks, you've got to have a strategy, and hope isn't the strategy. Everybody with me? So again, it's not your fault. I had the privilege of meeting Jim Rohn, who really was just an unbelievably smart person. And he was a marketing guru, author, motivational person. And he said something so profound. He said, if you want to be successful, look around at what everyone else is doing and just do the opposite. And kind of, that's what we're doing here. We're doing the opposite. We're not chasing, we're positioned to be chased. So the big aha is, if you only market to people you know you can help and fit the criteria of the programs you already have. What if you picked a group that needs your help no one else is marketing to? And what if we got them sold on using you before they even called? And what if you had automatic follow-up so you didn't have to spend time doing it? Would that be beautiful? Give me a yes or no. Of course it is. So I'll share with you real quickly. Everyone is showing you how to go online and use social media. Is that fair? Is that a fair statement? And it's not working out too good for you, or you wouldn't be here, would you? Right? So look at what the two hugest companies in the world are doing. Google and Facebook actually are sending direct mail. Imagine that. Some of you have probably gotten this, right? So the two largest online companies are sending direct mail to get you to advertise. So there are some problems with direct mail. Because of my voice, I'm not going to go too deep here, but it really, the problem with most direct mail is you're sending it to the wrong people. You're only sending it once. With direct mail, you guys send to the same people multiple times, and you're asking them to call you. Big mistake. They don't want to call you, and they don't want you to call them because they don't trust us. We've gotten such bad publicity over the last, 10 years. People don't really think very highly of us. So there's ways around that, and there's ways that we can fix that, and I'll share that with you. So here's what we do. We send to a targeted person. We send them to a page. They download a report. The report is the entire conversation we'd be having with them on the phone, and then they either call us for a consultation or they don't. If they don't, we have an autoresponder that follows up with them. So what this does is it saves you all the time of being on the call with people while you should be with your family, while you should be relaxing. Let the report do the heavy lifting of credentializing you, sifting, and filtering. So look, let's cut right to the chase, okay? Most of you don't believe that realtors are loyal, right? But really, the one and only thing a realtor wants from you, they expect good service, they expect good rates, they expect a variety of programs. But they will be loyal to you if you give them a deal. The problem is, okay, so Ken is asking, is this the same as renters into loans? Ken, no, this is not the renters into loans. This is the Boomerang Expert Program. So the one and only thing that realtor really wants is a buyer, okay? So I'm going to give you a script. Again, I hate to call it a script, but let's play this out. This is exactly what I shared with the agents I just mentioned to you. I called her up and I said, hi, Shirley. My name is Brian Sachs. I'm a local mortgage banker. I have a pre-approved buyer, but I just need 5 minutes of your time. I don't have anybody in your area that I work with. Remember, I identified her as an agent that does a lot of sales. And would it be something you'd be interested in? Well, of course she's going to say yes, right? And I said, well, before you say yes, I want you to understand the ground rules. The ground rules are you will never, ever question my price, and I will never question yours. And if we have an issue with each other, we'll discuss it with each other, right? So here's the buyer, and here's a big sentence, I would like your next deal. If we feel that we work well together, we can continue. And if we don't, we can hopefully remain friends. So I'm going to call Lauren, and I'm going to let her know that you'll be calling her. She's pre-approved for 250 FHA, and I'll be looking for your next deal, and I hope we can work together. So tell me, do you love that? Very, very different than what you might be saying, because you might be assuming. It would be logical, right, to assume that you give an agent a deal and they're loyal. Doesn't work that way. So spell it out for them. How about the rest of you? Linda and Athena think that makes sense. So I'm going to give you another little known source of new business. Two of them, actually. Actually, three. I'll give you three. How's that? Fair? So you probably do not market to the large builders in your area, right? Well, I joined the Home Builders Association, and I regularly close new construction deals from Hovnanian, Ryan, Ryland, Beezer. I'm not one of their preferred lenders, right? And I don't work in their mortgage company, but I'm able to say to them, just like walking into a closed office, right? I'm able to walk in and go, hey, I know your in-house company does a great job. Awesome, awesome job, right? But what are you doing with these buyers? And inevitably, they will send me these buyers. Number two source of business. How about credit unions or small banks? You know, the problem with these credit unions and small banks, they're very, very conservative usually. And many of them don't do non-QM. Many of them don't do FHA or VA. For example, in a VA, do you know there is no short sale seasoning? So go to them and say, hey, I don't want to steal your client. I want to make you look good. When you have deals like this, send them to me and make sure you stay in touch with these people. This is one that'll blow you away, okay? Little known source of business number three. How about other loan officers? How about your competitors? Build a relationship with them, and when they get these buyers, let them send them to you, and you'll make them look good. So how many of you feel like you've just been drinking from a fire hose? So do me a favor, everybody. If you could, let me know that you got at least one good idea. And if you got more than one good idea, because that was my promise to you, okay? Spend this hour with me, and if you don't get one good idea, I'll send $25 to the charity of your choice. Do you all have something actionable you can do? One big aha? All right, beautiful. So Linda did, Gerald did, Andrew did, Athena did, Mark, Pete, Candace, Jefferson, Kevin, Mark, Deanna, E, Carlton. Okay, good. So fair to say I lived up. Gina, thank you, Gina. Andrew wants to know if this recorded session will be emailed. No, it will not. I don't think it will. Sometimes it doesn't even get recorded well, so I can't make any promises. But I'm glad you all got an idea, and I'm glad you all have ideas of how powerful this can be. So let me ask you, why did you attend the webinar? Probably for a couple reasons. You know you need purchase business, but you don't even want to think about begging and chasing, right? You know that being seen as the expert and never having to worry about rate shoppers is the best way to grow your business. And you're seeing, are you really, honestly, are you seeing more and more of these buyers? I know I am, but you don't know how to turn this group into a consistent flow of new business. Are you? Are you seeing more of these? So the big question is, how do you get this up and running quickly so you can start closing more, making more, and still enjoying life? You know, that's a catchphrase that I've been saying for 15 years, and it's probably the most ripped off phrase. A lot of these snake oil gurus are now using these same words. So I guess it's a compliment in some way. So there's two ways to do it. Option one, you can choose the complicated, costly, and confusing way. That's what I had to do because there was no other way. Or option two is a simple, just copy and paste what's already tested and proven to work. But the one thing you can't do is to continue doing what you're currently doing, because I know you're on here because you want to change. So stop doing what you're doing, because if you keep doing what you're doing, right? If you keep doing what you're doing, that's insane. So I am thrilled, really thrilled, to announce the Boomerang Expert System. It is the complete A to Z blueprint that will immediately jumpstart your production, have you being seen as a go-to expert in this niche, and finally have agents chasing you. So who is it for? Ethical, good loan officers like you and I, looking to get an edge over the competition. Originators who are tired of chasing people, knowing that you're never going to have the best rates, and looking to finally have predictable and consistent income. Please don't even consider this, and actually you could jump off the call right now if you're thinking of leaving the business, although I got to tell you, I don't offer this training all the time. I only offer it a couple times a year because I still originate. So it's not open all the time. So if you're just looking to swipe ideas and ask for a refund, don't bother. You don't view your job as a profession? I think most of us do. Or you're looking for a magical pill where you can sit on your butt and just hit the easy button. There's work to do here, folks. But the good news is it's all tested and proven so that you know it'll work. I mean, that's a big advantage. So the way it's set up, you have a video that will teach you a module. You have all of the resources in the module and the tools to implement it. And if you get stuck, you have access to a one-on-one call with me. I set this up the way I like to learn and the way I thought was the fairest and most beneficial. So week one, and by the way, these are released a week at a time. And the reason they're released a week at a time is so that you are forced to implement. If you don't like it, don't invest in it, okay? But I do this a week at a time so that you are able to implement what you learned. Because without implementation, I mean, come on, we've all invested in things and we think it's a great idea, and they might be great ideas, and they just sit there and we do nothing with them. So I'm going to really go deep into the market and who these people are and how to really make a plan to work with these people that will be successful. Module 2, week 2, we're going to talk about how to become the obvious expert in this niche. And you got to understand these buyers. They have different psychological and emotional needs, okay? I'm actually going to give you a copy of the course I teach. All you have to do is put your information on it, any updates you want to put on it. And here is the actual, I got to tell you how powerful this is. Here's the actual outline to go teach it at your board of realtors, okay? And again, make it yours for the programs you have. It's a slide, it's a PowerPoint that you can amend. So don't tell me it's good information, bad information, we can't do this, we can't do that. Customize it for yourself. But if you go to your board of realtors, imagine standing in front of 30 or 40 realtors and teaching this course. I even give you me teaching the course and a transcript of it. So you literally have everything you need. And you know what? It costs you $0 to implement. In week 3, I'm going to show you how to identify these buyers quickly and get them sold on using you before they even meet with you so you don't waste any time. Okay? Yes, Ken was asking about the renter secrets. I'm actually giving you the basic renter secrets program as a bonus that you can get started with right away in the Boomerang Expert. And then we're going to talk about credit restoration because it is so critical that you know how to raise your buyer's credit scores quickly. I've interviewed 2 national experts. Unfortunately, one of them passed away, but the training he did was still phenomenal, and it's evergreen. In Module 5, Week 5, we're going to talk about psychology because you know what? Your job is to get trust immediately. You have to build trust right away. And I'm going to share with you little-known psychological triggers that'll help you gain trust immediately with your partners and with your buyers. We're going to talk about a course that, in my opinion, it's got actually a 27 word sentence in this course right here in Blair Warren that absolutely will change your life, changed mine. Here's a testimonial from Brian Saviano in Chicago. I put off learning from Brian before because the cost seemed high, but not listening to him before, I believe I've wasted thousands of dollars. And you guys are really missing out if you're not listening. So anyway, good to hear from peers, right? Here's Tim in Texas. I'm doing half the volume, but tripling my take-home pay. Module 6, how to position your business so realtors are chasing you without spending a penny. And there are multiple ways here. This module is literally jam-packed with tools and resources, letters to listing agents, letters to selling agents, truly phenomenal. Newsletters, forms that you should be using, ways to ask the right questions. They're literally, this is, this module alone is probably worth your investment in the entire system. It is that important. So module 7, we're going to talk about shameless self-promotion tactics, again, so that you can be seen as the obvious expert. Radio shows, TV, newsprint. I'm going to share with you a media kit. Again, another jam-packed way for you to be out there. Don't have a great face for radio? Module 8, we're going to talk about direct mail secrets that produce a predictable and consistent flow of new buyers. But I want to be honest with you. You don't have to do direct mail to be successful in this niche. All of the other modules are more than enough. Going to credit unions, marketing to banks, marketing to builders, marketing to your peers, teaching courses, teaching webinars. Direct mail is just a strategy. But I'm going to give you tested and proven my entire system here for direct mail, how to find these buyers, what to send to them, and what to do to get them to call. Module 9, on week 9, we're going to talk about the secrets of getting everything done while working only 40 hours a week. Because honestly, if you're closing more loans and you're making more money and you got a predictable income, you probably should be enjoying life. I wish I didn't lose all of those years with my wife and my children, where I literally, she called herself a mortgage widow and me a mortgage 7-Eleven. So for those of you that are smart enough and are investing in this, I actually have 2 big bonuses that are life-changing. They changed my life. I know I say that a lot. One of them is a book really that I read every 6 months, and I have for the last 25 years. And the other is probably one of the most important books on persuasion you'll ever read. Really gives you an unfair advantage. I'm also I did an interview with some of the subprime investors, non-QM, and on some of the other tools that we use. Again, I am going to be here to help you. So you have the ability to schedule a one-on-one with me personally. Do it when you're stuck. Really, don't do it up front. Save them, okay? Save them for when you actually have implemented something and you're stuck and know that I'm here. I'm going to give you my gold postcard that literally, I call it my $1 million postcard, because this literally has been mailed at least 1 million times, to my understanding, by myself and my members over the years. And I'm sure it's produced well over $1 million in commissions. So again, what you're going to get the training. You're going to get, and this is available immediately as soon as you jump in. You're going to get a PDF. You're going to get access to me, but I have to limit this to 20 originators. Okay. Boomerangexpert.com/now. Athena, the answer to your question is yes. Go into the member area and schedule a one-on-one, and I'm happy to help you. Okay. So here's what the member area is going to look like. There are bonuses. Week 1, there are more than a few bonuses that you can get started on, aside from the introduction. I do have Q&A calls. I do have one-on-ones. So, here's what you're getting, folks. If I were to take all of these pieces and put them together, the scripts, the one-on-one help, the actual slides to the trainings, that you can be teaching, the outline to go teach it at your board of realtors for continuing credit hours. There's actually 2 PowerPoint presentations in here. The 3-step campaigns that you will, and even I'm giving you access, literally soup to nuts, everything you need here, okay? Easily a $5,900 value. So go to boomerangexpert.com/now. I see, let's see, I see John and I see Tom and Joan have all registered. So welcome. I can't wait to work with you. So think about this, folks. And I appreciate you all bearing with my voice because I'm sure it's not easy. What will your business and life be like if you don't have to beg for business anymore? You never have to hear what's your rate or I'm checking rates with 3 lenders. Someone that's a boomerang buyer isn't checking rates with 3 lenders, okay? You have a predictable and consistent income because you're doing what I'm showing you. You're respected by your peers. How about just respect for yourself? There was a point, my low point, where I didn't really have much respect for myself. And you can finally take time off and not worry about what you're missing because you're not missing anything. So, what would that be worth? 10,000, 5,000, 3,000? I can tell you I spent well over 10,000 myself just learning all this and testing and tweaking and so forth. So head over to boomerangexpert.com/now. There were 20 slots. 7 of them are now gone, it looks like. So what is your investment? Well, let's make this comparison, okay? It is one $300,000 loan. So if all of this could get you one $300,000 loan and you're earning 100 basis points, you will have doubled your investment. But what about all the new relationships? What about finally getting rid of those shoppers? And what about all those doors that are going to finally open? So, I always get this question, right? Well, Brian, if this is so good, why don't you let me try it and earn some money? And if I like it, I'll pay you for it. Well, I think I got that covered too. So if you are going to boomerangexpert.com/now, go to the PayPal option and they give you 6 months to pay. So you can actually be working, doing, learning, implementing, making money before you even paid the first payment. So you take the option that's best for you. I've given you 3. One full investment. Again, it's less than your commission on a $300,000 loan. I hope you believe that you could get at least one $300,000 loan with everything I've shown you, right? Man, you should be getting a $300,000 loan or 2 or 3 every month. I'm not making a promise. I'm just telling you. I would hope so. You could break it up into 3 payments. You could break it up into 2 payments, or use the PayPal credit. Right there. There you go. But I know how hard you work because I know how hard I work. So I'm going to give you, again, something unheard of, a double your money back guarantee. So there's 2 guarantees. And Joan in my office is telling me we now only have 10 spots left. So those of you that just enrolled, God bless you. Can't wait to hear your success story, and I can't wait to work with you. So you can take this for a test drive for 30 days, no hoops, no hassles. If you don't like the color of the background or the sound of my voice, let me know and I'll give you back all your money. Every penny, no problem. Okay? Or I want you to implement. So you can take this for a full 12-month test drive, 12 months, 1 year. And if you show me what you did, that you implemented the items in the system and it didn't work, I'll either spend time with you on the phone or I'll give you double your money back. How's that? Please type in the box if you think that's more than fair. So 30 days, unconditional guarantee, but you're going to invest in this right now because you want it to work, right? So I'm going to give you a full year to take it for a test drive. Show me what you did. Show me the proof. And if it didn't work for you, I will give you double your money back, or I'll get on the phone with you till it works. No one else in our industry has the cojones, let's call them, to do this. But because I originate every day, I use this. I know it works. No risk for me, right? So go take your 12-month test drive. If you want to use the PayPal option, that's cool because you got a full 6 months to pay for it. Again, you're covered by the double money back guarantee. Here's one of our members, Steve Ramos in Georgia. And, you know, we literally tripled his production. Here is one of my favorites, Denise Sulzer. She's in New Jersey, and she's succeeding with this. So here you go, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this. Here's what you're going to see when you get to the page. Pick the payment plan that's right for you. You've already seen what the members area looks like. I was going to take questions, but I'm right at an hour. If you have, and my voice, as you can tell, is shot. But if you have a question, type it in the box. There are 10 spots left. There are no longer 20 spots left. So I thank you. I hope whether you invest in the system or not, I really do hope that you implement some of these ideas, that you see the power of this. Even if you have a marketing budget of zero, there are things here that you're able to implement. So any questions? Okay, so if there are no questions, God bless you. Thank you for being here. For those of you that are now members, I'm so excited to work with you, and I hope you all have a great rest of the year.